If you are preparing for NEET NDS, you would want to know how the previous year's toppers studied. What were the tips and tricks they used to top the NEET NDS exam? Don't worry, we at Kaizen Dental are here to help you succeed. We have got with us Dr. Sharvari, who's got 14th rank in the NEET MDS 2025. After completing her BDS in Maitri College of Dentistry and Research in Chhattisgarh, she went on to do her internship in Government Dental College, Raipur, Chhattisgarh. I'm Dr. Satish Kumar, and this is Kaizen Dental. Our aim here is to help dentists succeed. Hi, Dr. Sharvari. Thank you for joining us today. It's amazing to see that you have got 14th rank in the NEET MDS 2025. My first question to you is, what motivated you to start with the NEET MDS preparation, and when did you seriously start studying?
First of all, thank you so much, sir, for having me today. It's a privilege talking to you. So, being very honest, during my internship, I had seriously no plans to do MDS. I was more inclined towards polishing my clinical skills, and for that purpose, I took transfer to Government Dental College, Raipur. So, there was no plans at all during the internship to do the MDS. When I went there for the internship, I used to see the MDS students, my senior, doing a variety of cases, getting good amount of stipend. Then I gave my first thought that okay, maybe in the future I might consider doing MDS. But in my internship, I just polished my clinical skills and I enjoyed my internship very nicely. And when my internship got over, I was like, I gave my first attempt. My rank was not that great to give me a good government clinical seat. But then, after all the confusion, like what now, what to do, what not to do, I thought myself of giving a second chance. I said, okay, let's try one more time because everybody deserves the second chance. So I thought that this would be a do or die situation for me. Like this has to happen this time in my second attempt. So and this do or die thing, I kept it in my mind constantly, and that is the thing which motivated me every day. That get up and start studying. So that was how it all started.
So for this 1 year, you didn't do any clinical work, right? You were not working in any clinic or nothing else that sorts. 1 year you were sincerely studying.
Yes, sir, definitely. No clinics and all in my room, sitting, studying. That's it.
So overall, what was your timeline of studying? So like, how many months before the exam did you start? How many hours you put initially? How was the complete flow? You use this entire preparation timeline of yours. Before you listen to the answer to that question, if you're liking this video, do not forget to hit the like button below because Dr. Sharvari has taken time from her schedule to come and help you out. And if you want to take your career to the next level after BDS, do not forget to subscribe to Kaizen Dental because we keep on coming up with content to help you succeed.
Okay, so I started my preparation a little bit late, like I started in August 2024. Initially, my focus was to, because we have 20 subjects to cover and we have a time span of like 10 to 12 months around like that. So, my focus was to complete the all the 20 subjects. And then, as the exam was approaching, I completed all of my syllabus in like December, January around. And then it was around like 3 to 4 months left. So then my main focus shifted to my weak subjects. Like I was very weak in pharmacology, physiology, general medicine. So I focused on them. And as the exam started approaching, like 2 months left, so my complete focus was to do as many revisions as I can. So and for that I used to the active recall. I used to give as many grand tests or as many test series live exam as possible. So as the exam started approaching, I focused more on revision rather than doing any new kind of stuff. I constantly did like whatever I have done already, I made sure that I'm doing it again and again. So that's what I did like from the start, then till the exam.
But how many hours were you studying? So did you study consistently the same hours from August towards the end, or was there a change in the number of hours?
So what I believe is that quality matters more than the quantity. But I like my worst days. I used to study like 8 to 10 hours when I was not well or something. I had here and there. So 8 to 10 hours my worst days, and the best days I used to stretch around like 14 hours, 15 hours. So that's on an average like 10 to 14 hours I used to study every day, no matter what.
Oh, great. That's actually quite a number of hours you have put in. You were not doing any clinicals. You were actually focused. And that concept of having it that this attempt is going to be my serious attempt surely makes a difference. Like how you said, it's a do or die situation. If you are seriously interested in doing MBS and cracking into a government college in a clinical seat. Okay. Now, the next thing you told me is you divided your weak subjects and everything towards the end. Just before you started the complete preparation, you were focusing on weak subjects. How did you prepare which subject when? So did you first finish one particular subject, go to the second one, or were you doing multiple subjects simultaneously?
So it's always like the subjects which we like more, we tend to do them more enthusiastically. We tend to do them more and more, like repeatedly. And we little bit try to run away or procrastinate from the subjects that we don't like. But I made sure that none of the subject is neglected, no matter how much I hate it. I made sure that each and every, like all the 20 subjects are done very nicely. So what I used to do is like, for example, I don't like pharma, I don't like physio. So I made sure that I am taking out like 1 hour every day to do the pharma classification, followed by physio, and then followed by general medicine. So the subjects which were bigger or the subjects which I hated, I divided them in small, small chunks, which I did like stretch of the entire year. I used to do little of those subjects. And the subjects which I like microbiology, pathology, prostho, oral surgery, I love this subject. So these subjects I did in one stretch because I love doing them. So that's how I made sure that I there's a balance between the subjects which I like and which I don't like, so that all of them are covered in a proper manner.
Oh, you reminded me of my college days. I was the same. I used to avoid all the weak ones. Okay. And keep on revising the good ones. You just feel good about it. But it absolutely makes sense. You should not forget the weak ones because there are questions surely going to come from them. And making it easier is your concept of splitting it up across days is a very smart move. So any other tips on how you handle the weaker subjects other than splitting them?
So yes, as I mentioned, like 10% of my day every day used to go towards them. I made sure that because it's like if we procrastinate on them and we leave them to be बाद में कर लेंगे, वो बाद में कभी नहीं होता है. It's just left, then it's just gone. So and so I used to do them like 10% of my day used to go towards my weaker subject, so that in the end it doesn't feel like a big mountain or it doesn't feel like a very big burden key. I have to cover so much. So in the small chunks, I did them little by little. I did them, and that's how they were weaker subjects were done. Mainly pharma and physio.
Understood. Uh, did you make your own notes? Did you depend upon the notes given by a coaching institute? How did you prepare notes when you were studying all these subjects for the weaker ones and the ones you're confident about?
Okay, so if I talk about the notes, I didn't had my own notes. I was enrolled in an academy. So they provided a very nice, crisp and concise notes. All the notes were like very up to the point. And the notes were the only source of information which I relied on during the last phase of my revision. Because if we keep on making notes and if we don't have time to revise them again, then there's no point. Like टाइम भी वेस्ट हो गया एंड देन बाद में वो पढ़ भी नहीं पाए. सो आई डिडंट मेक माय एनी सेपरेट नोट्स. द नोट्स व्हिच आई ऑलरेडी हैड, द एकेडमी नोट्स व्हिच वर प्रोवाइडेड, I made them very colorful. And when I used to do the lecture, I used to highlight them as much as I can, so I get a photographic memory, and it is retained for a longer duration in my brain. So I used to highlight them properly during the lectures and then revise it again and again, like as many times as I can. Like if I remember, I did the notes around 6 to 7 times, and that's how they stayed in my mind. Yes, sir. Notes are a like proper source of information, and for revision, they were very helpful. Actually, they were very helpful.
Understood. So which academy is this?
So I was enrolled in DBMCI.
Great.
Okay.
So you basically used your notes, and the best thing you told me is you marked them what you thought is important, and you kept re-revising those markings. That's a really good tip out there. You told me you were studying for 10 hours to 14 hours. Okay. Honest question. From August, did you have any social life? Okay. Was there any family functions you used to go to? How you used to manage all these things?
So this is the question which I always wanted to talk about because I am a very social person. I I like to have a balance in studies as well as social life. I also like to keep my hobbies, but as I dedicated myself completely towards my studies, I left everything. There was no social media account. There were no social events. There was nothing. Like I just used to stay in my room and study. I skipped all of my family functions. I have a joint family and I love to be a part of each and every function that takes place. But throughout the year, I used to convince myself that okay, these are the small sacrifices that you have to make, which are going to make a big difference in your result, which actually did because entire year I was totally antisocial. I was not seen anywhere, not even in family functions, not on any kind of social media or stuff. But I used to feel bad, but then I told myself no, that all of this is going to be worth it at the end because these are the small sacrifices which will, give you a big result, which actually it did it. So now it feels like okay, like we can do it, and it is meant to be done to get something big.
Understood.
Yes, so there was
But you
social life actually.
but you told me you were in a joint family. So your family used to not keep nudging you कि कितना पढ़ोगी, okay? Or were your friends, you had a different BDS college, a different internship college, were they not telling you कि MDS तो हो ही जाएगा, come out, let's meet? So your family and friends didn't keep nudging you. You never faced FOMO of the entire situation.
No, sir, not at all. But if I talk of my family, they were like the most, big pillars in my preparation journey. Especially my father. Like he is a person with a vision, and he knows my potential. So he always used to, push me like, "Nahi, tu kar legi karke. You will be able to do it. Just stay positive and stay calm." So family support, like it was not like they kept nudging me, but instead they supported me. Like, no, you can do it, you have a potential, like you should do it. And my friends, like there were some very special friends from my school time, from my college time, seniors from my college time. So even if I call them at 2 a.m. in the morning, and if I'm crying of panic attacks and all, they were like, calm down, you will be able to do it. So it's a because this is a journey, like where all the days are not same. There are days when we feel low, there are days when we feel not so good. So it's very important to have a set of such kind of positive people in your life. So I'm blessed enough to have a good positive people in my life. Like all of my cousins, like they are a bunch of my bestest people I have. So they were motivating me all the time. Like, you will be able to do it. Just do it. Like they were. I had a good support system. That's why this all became possible.
Or just one question. What was your mindset on the low days, the days you were completely down? Other than talking to family and friends, how you used to just re-motivate yourself to get back to studying?
So, like this might go out of context, but I used to watch a series called as Grey's Anatomy. So that is completely dependent on the medical drama. So I used to like one episode a day. I used to watch during my lunchtime, even if I when I used to feel low. So I used to see them doing all the surgeries and all the complicated stuff. So it used to motivate me. Like, I want to be like them. So and sometimes I used to talk to myself. I used to prepare for the interviews which I'll be giving if I become a topper. So that's how I used to keep myself motivated on the days when I was not very up to the mark. And I used to do the things which I find easy. Like I used to do PYQs or watch some good interviews on the YouTube which are there. So on the low days, I used to do that.
So you used to already visualize that you're giving interview at Kaizen Dental.
Yes, I many times I did.
Great. So my next thing is, what is the smartest decision you took during your entire preparation?
So there were two things which I think I did. First is to stay away from social media. As I told you, I'm a social person. So just to avoid getting affected by anything I see outside. So I stayed away from social media. And the second thing, I took good care of my health. And I used to take proper food and proper sleep because if I am taking good care of my health, the chances of me falling sick will be reduced. Because if you fall sick in this phase, it eats away a lot of your time and it takes away your motivation for that duration. So I made sure that I am taking care of my health so that chances of me falling ill and my time being killed for unnecessary thing is reduced. Yes, these two things I did.
Understood. So now you told me about the mindset throughout the entire year when you were low, how you managed and everything. The day of the exam, what was your mindset? कि आज तो मैं टॉपर बनने ही वाली हूँ. Was it that?
No, sir, no, not exactly that. But the mindset for the day of the exam, it starts the night before the exam. I made sure on the very first day of my preparation, I made sure that I want to enter the examination hall with full confidence. And for me to have that full confidence, I made sure that whatever I have to do a day before exam, I will do that. I had a proper list that this is the subject I have to do a day before. This is the classification of pharmacology I have to do the day before. And I made sure that anyhow, no matter what, I am completing it. So, because I wanted for me to have a cool, like satisfied and fulfilled mind, I have this thing that जो डिसाइड किया है वो पूरा होना ही चाहिए और एल्स आई एम लाइक आई विल गो हेल्टर स्केल्टर एंड माय माइंड विल बी लाइक अरे कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ है करके। सो आई मेड श्योर दैट आई हैड अ प्रॉपर लिस्ट वो पहले से रेडी थी एंड आई वाज लाइक इतना ही करना है एग्जाम के एक दिन पहले एंड आई डिड दैट एंड दैट्स हाउ आई एंटर्ड द एग्जामिनेशन हॉल लाइक हाँ आई हैव डन थिंग्स व्हिच इज मेंट टू बी डन एंड यस नाउ आई कैन सिट प्रॉपर्ली एंड गिव माय एग्जाम।
Understood. Through this interview, I realized one thing. You had said, okay, this is said by a lot of people, sportsmen and everything. You visualized. You visualized how you want to be confident. You visualize that if I'm going to be successful, this is how it's going to be. So visualization of how you want it to be at the exam day and how you want it to be after your results, okay, is something which I've seen throughout the interview you have told me has helped you. I think that's a very good advice which a lot of people do not talk about. To see if you're successful, how would you be and motivate yourself to do that. Very great advice that is, Dr. Sharveri. My next question to you is, what was your strategy while giving the exam? Okay, because this time there were a lot of questions which were based on clinical aspect, clinical perception. So some were saying it was lengthy to think about the answer, put it in your mind and answer it. What was your strategy of time management, answering questions, selecting which questions to answer and reviewing the paper? How did you go about it?
So as we know that this time we had time bound sections for 100 and 140. So, as I was going through the questions, I realized that some questions are very lengthy, and I knew that I won't be having any chance to come back to them again. So I didn't leave any question for the review. The questions which I didn't knew, which I feel that they are from some other planet, I respected them and I just left them because it would just waste my time. If I don't know it, I just simply left them. Because if my mind is not flickering, there is no point of reading the question again and again and reading the options again and again. It would just waste my time. So the questions, rather than I focused on the questions which were doable. Like there were some clinical questions which I feel are doable. Like you can do some kind of calculations and you can arrive at the answer. But the questions which I didn't knew, I just left them. So and the time management was not an issue. Like I was able to complete my paper in a proper time. I didn't leave any questions for the review. I did them then and then, or they were either left. So that's how I did. Like I marked 230 out of 240 questions, and at the end I was like I was satisfied that yes I have given my best. And part A was a little bit easier this time as compared to last year. So part A it was good. So part A when it was done, I was feeling a little bit confident that okay, part A is sorted. Now I have to be same with it. I have to do the paper with the same intensity for the part B as well. So overall, the paper was good. Time management was also like fortunately it was proper for me.
Great. You spoke like a true batsman. Okay. You should know which balls you should not touch. If you feel it's from a different planet, just leave it then and there.
Yes.
The balls which you know you can really touch, think about it, spend some time, take a single out of it. And the ones you are sure shot, you've mugged it up the previous night or the previous week, just go hit the buzzer directly. That's very good advice for time management because a lot of people waste a lot of time trying to solve the ones they don't answer. Very good advice, Dr. Shargari. Now, if you have already mentally prepared giving this interview long back. If you are someone who are going to see this interview, an aspirant who is confused and tense like in your low days, what would be your advice to them?
So, to all my dear juniors and the upcoming aspirants, I would like to tell them one thing that just be honest and be loyal to yourself and your studies. Because when we are studying, we know what we are doing. We actually know that today it was not very productive because there was some kind of distraction in my head. We know like what things are happening to us, and we also know that how we can remove that distraction. It's just that for a span of some months, if you are an average student like me, for a span of some months, you have to be stone hearted, but once you get through it, you just have to keep pushing yourself every day. Like even when you don't want to do it, just push yourself a little bit extra. Every day you have to do it. And you never know that next year you might end up being an all India topper. So just be honest and be loyal
Have you
to
had
yourself.
dental?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Uh, Dr. Sharveri, with this interview, I realized you are been very candid, you've been very honest of how your journey was. You have never faked it that it was all your effort. You've told you have to cut down on social media. You have told honestly that you have to be willing to sacrifice. You didn't come across saying that you're like an intelligent person, you just work for study 4 hours a day and you got it through. This is the advice where actually students who are giving NEET MBS need to understand. If you want to top, you have to give that sacrifice. Like how Dr. Shalvari stated, you have to be willing to put in that sweat. Okay. It is a short-term pain for a long-term gain. Okay. Uh, Thank you, Dr. Shalvari, from taking out your time and joining us today.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
If you like this video, do not forget to check out our entire playlist called Meet MDS, in which we have interviewed various people who give amazing advice on how to study and succeed in your NEET MDS journey.